Hello, families. Today I want to tell you about ReadTheory. This is a website that we've been using all year to work on improving our reading comprehension skills. The students have a link to it through Google Classroom, and they should have their sign in information. If not, I will be sending out sign in information so they'll have the information they need to access it. At the beginning of the semester, we all took a placement test on it. It's basically a pre-test that assigned them to a current reading level. And what's really cool about this site is it gives them short reading passages and questions to answer, and it adapts based on how they do. So the better they do, it's going to keep increasing the level of difficulty of this text that it's giving them. If they're struggling with a passage, it might bring them back down a level until they, get some more practice in and start improving again. So when they first sign in, it's going to take them immediately to a passage with questions. So they'll have one passage. This one's Invasion of the Lionfish. They can adjust the font size. It does tell them the grade level and that this is the Lexile level they are at. They read the passage. Obviously, this one's a grade 8, so it's a little bit longer passage. Some of them are pretty short. It really just depends on what that particular passage is. Usually, the longer it is, the more questions there are. This one you can see has 5 questions. And so it says, based on the information in paragraphs 2, 3, and 4, which of the following best describes an example of an invasive species? What's really cool is it will highlight that section because it says based on 2, 3, and 4. So if they click that highlight text, it says, okay, this is the part that you need to be looking at right now in order to answer the questions. Now, I haven't read this passage yet, so I'm just going to pick an answer. And then they hit submit, and it actually tells them whether that answer was right or wrong. It says, okay, no, that you picked answer B, it was answer D. And then what's cool is it gives them an explanation for why their answer is incorrect, which I think can be really helpful to them in improving their scores if they take the time to read those explanations. Once they have read that explanation, then they can go on to the next question. Okay. It says, as used in paragraph 5, the word theories is used to mean, and again, it highlights where that word is. Okay, so they can read to use their context clues to figure out what the meaning of the word theories are. So this sentence is used in says, no one knows for sure how they got there, but there are some theories. And if they look at their choices, educated guesses, scientific facts, natural predators, ocean scientists. Well, based on that, I think it means educated guesses. So I'm going to hit submit, and then it tells me that's correct. It does talk about like you earned a knowledge point. We don't use the knowledge points for anything in class, and they don't really have anything to do with anything other than if they get questions right or get 100% on a quiz, they get more knowledge points. So they accumulate them based on their performance. They could be used, if you wanted to set up, hey, if you get so many knowledge points, you get a reward. It could be a way of setting up a reward system to encourage them to really put the effort in on this. So they continue through. This one says it's a challenge question, meaning it's a little bit harder. I'm just going to kind of click through. Oh, okay, and click the passage. The question was, which of the following sentences was best fit in that passage? So it's talking about why they're dangerous. So probably something about getting stung. Oh, no, it isn't right. My fault for not reading it carefully. Next question. We're just going to kind of continue through. This one's actually asking them like which of these answers are right. Is it 1 only or 2 only, 3 only, reasons 1 and 3, so we're just going to pick one. Oh, I picked the right one. And then we're going to do the last one. Oh, it was wrong. And then what I want you to see is when they get to the end, it's going to show their score. So now what it's showing me, and this is because I was guessing through it, is, well, they only scored a 40%. They got 2 out of 5. They earned 4 knowledge points. You get bonus points if you get the challenge question right. and it says, sorry, you did not pass. You may see this quiz again in the future. So next time it might take them down a level, but this quiz might come back up in their queue of quizzes. I don't pick the quizzes that they get. This is completely assigned by the system based on their performance. And then if they want to continue for right now, they just hit next quiz and it's going to give them a new one. You can see now it's brought them down to a grade 7 quiz instead of a grade 8. So it's going to adapt, which I think is cool. Another nice thing about it is they can see their progress up here. Now, this is just a test account I made to show them how to track their progress. You can see where they started at their pre-test level, both by grade level and Lexile. We use the Lexile just to track their growth. Like, I'm not really worried about like what Lexile they're on, but we use it to track, okay, are they improving or are they not? So it's something we've been tracking in class. You can see their knowledge points here. So if that's something you're wanting to do as like a reward system while they're at home, trying to say, okay, try to earn so many knowledge points, they get 1 per question, and I think 10 bonus points if they get 100% on a quiz, if that gives you an idea of like how many to expect. It shows how many quizzes have passed, and then it shows their program average right here. And then there's different graphs to show how they're doing, and what like quizzes they've taken and what their scores have been. So you can actually see the history on here of their performance. Another thing that's cool is if you want to see like just their performance on 1 week, you can come up here and you can say, okay, well, from today to the end of this week, and hit apply. Okay, well, obviously we've only taken 1 quiz and we didn't pass it. We earned 4 points. This was, it still shows the pre-test average, but this is the average of the performance so far this week. And then you're going to see just this week's history. So I like that you can focus in like a week at a time. So I like ReadTheory. I think it's great for really practicing comprehension questions, because sometimes what trips the students up isn't even the reading passage, but trying to understand what the questions are asking. And so that repetitive practice of going through and like really reading those questions and trying to find those answers in the passage, it can be really helpful to them. So this is one I like, and I like that they can challenge themselves and look at their score and try to see their own growth and improve their growth. They're not competing against anybody else. They're not working for a grade. They're just working to see their own personal progress. So this is a really great skill for that. They can do as many quizzes as they want in a day. I usually require 2 quizzes a week in class. So I don't use the writing right now or any of that, so those buttons aren't really applicable at this time, and they just hit here to go back to the next quiz. So hopefully that's a little bit of good information for you on ReadTheory, what we use it for in class, and how the students are using it, so you can get them using it at home if it's one that you would like to see them working on. Please let me know again if you have any questions. Message me on Seesaw, and I will try my best to help you out. Have a great day. Thank you.